The Independent, 26th of September 2023, Chinese lending to Africa is still less than $2 billion for the second year. Data from the Chinese Loans to Africa, CLA, database maintained by Boston University's Global Development Policy Center shows that Chinese financing to African countries has stayed below $2 billion for the second year. The CLA database monitors Chinese loan promises to African governments, state-owned companies, and regional multilateral organizations. Chinese lenders made 16 fresh loan promises totaling $2.22 billion to African government borrowers in 2021 and 2022 despite the data covering loan pledges rather than disbursements. This is the second year in a row that less than $2 billion has been lent to Africa. 9 loans totaling $994.48 million were signed in 2022, and 7 totaling $1.22 billion were signed in 2021. Based on its monitoring of Chinese lending to Africa since 2000, the CLA database estimates that 39 Chinese lenders gave $170.08 billion in loans to 49 African countries and 7 regional institutions for 1,243 loans, about 5 times as much as the African Development Bank and accounting for 64% of the World Bank's estimated overall financing to Africa is China. As the largest lender in Africa, the Export-Import Bank of China, Chexim, supplied 9 of the 16 loans in 2021 to 2022, accounting for $1.42 billion or 64% of all loans. China Shipbuilding Trading Company, CSTC, China National Aero Technology Import and Export Corporation, CATEC, Bank of China, BOC, and China Development Bank, CDB, were among the other Chinese lenders. The biggest borrowers in 2021 to 2022 were Senegal, Benin, Côte d'Ivoire, Angola, Uganda, Ghana, Rwanda, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. In contrast to prior years, there was a change in the makeup of borrowers, with a notable proportion of loans going to West African nations. Africa's southern and eastern nations have traditionally been China's main creditors. But during the past 2 years, there has been a change in the regional financing landscape, with a large share of loans going to West African nations. Energy-related projects are halted. It's interesting to note that no sovereign loans were made for energy projects in 2021 or 2022, despite the energy sector having historically received most Chinese credit. Since many of the earlier energy projects included fossil fuels, observers speculated that this hiatus could be related to China's commitment to greening the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. Compared to the pre-pandemic years, 2017 to 2019, trends from the pandemic years, 2020 to 2022, indicate a decline in both the quantity and value of loans. The average loan size and the total number of loans experienced substantial reductions. An era's end? It seems that Chinese financing to Africa is still in doubt, raising concerns about whether the current reduction in credit is a one-time event or a change in how the Chinese government and its financial institutions view the region. Despite the reduction in lending levels, Chinese loans have aided market integration, development, and diplomatic contacts between China and African nations. Experts predict that China will continue interacting with Africa through diplomatic and commercial channels, building on the foundation already set in the China-Africa relationship, even though lending levels may remain low. Although levels of Chinese loans to Africa have declined in recent years, China's overall lending to the continent has already served a purpose. Although levels of Chinese loans to Africa have declined in recent years, China's overall lending to the mainland has already served a purpose, stated Oyantari Lado Moses, data analyst and database manager of the Global China Initiative at the Boston University Global Development Policy Center. She stated, lending has strengthened market integration, increased diplomatic exchanges, and contributed to development between China and African countries. According to Terry Lato, China is likely to maintain diplomatic and commercial ties with the region even if low lending levels continue because the China-Africa relationship now has a solid base.